The Honda Center is the site here in Anaheim, California for the Four Continents Championships. It's day 2, and we've got a lot of figure skating. That is a live look inside the Honda Center here in Anaheim. A lot of skating to come. It starts this morning with the pairs event. We've got the rhythm dance later this afternoon, and then tonight it's the ladies free skate. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Bridgestone Ice Desk. I'm your host, Nick McCarville. If you're in the venue, we would love for you to come and hang out with us. We're just outside Gate 208. That's 208. We're going to be here all day before and after each session. If you're watching online and Facebook and YouTube, welcome, and don't be afraid to use that comment button. I've got a great team of analysts here to answer all of your questions this afternoon. We've got two select ladies, Sinead Kerr, welcome, and Brooke Castile. Now, Brooke, I want to start with you because you are a former U.S. champion. You're a former medalist here at Four Continents in pairs, and we've got a great event, and it really starts with Sway and Han and that team. They're former champions here, they're former world champions, and how big of an event this is for them, especially because we haven't seen much of them this season. Yeah, much of the buzz is about Sway and Han. They're reigning Olympic silver medalists, but they haven't been on the ice much since then. They were off for 4 months. She had a foot injury, a stress fracture. So not only was she off the ice for 4 months, but had to take a really long time to be safe to not re-injure her foot after that. So everyone's really excited to see them. We haven't seen them yet this season, and they're magical, so I can't wait. Yeah, no, really excited, and actually in their absence, Sinead, we've seen Pang and Jin, the Chinese team who was #3 last year. They've had a great Grand Prix season. They're bringing in so much skating compared to Sway and Han, who we really haven't seen this year.
Right, I mean, the Chinese teams have always been great. Pang and Jin are coming in off a great season, as you say, second in Grand Prix final. I think that they were the only team from this field to be in the Grand Prix final. So obviously you have to think that they're going to be one of the favorites here to watch today. They have a nice short program. They're going to be competing against Sway and Han this time around, who are going to be coming in. We don't know what they're doing, but for Pang and Jin, I mean, they're going to be a great team to look forward to watching for the next Olympic cycle. You know, if we stay international just for a second, you also have Kirsten Moore-Towers and Michael Marinaro. Sinead, they didn't necessarily have the fall that they wanted, but they're still a team to watch, especially coming after a Canadian national title. Right, and with Eric Radford and Megan Duhamel now retiring, it leaves Kristen and Michael as the #1 Canadian team. And it's big shoes to follow in as well. Yeah, and I think that they were possibly a little disappointed at not making the Grand Prix final, especially with it being in Canada. So they'll be looking to redeem themselves a little bit here today and to push themselves forward, leading into World Championships, and really stake their claim a little bit more. Okay, Brooke, we've got 3 American teams, and we've got 3 great dynamic teams, including Ashley Kane and Timothy LeDuc, coming off of that national title, but you also have Denny Fraser, and then you have Kane O'Shea as well. I mean, these are 3 American teams we're really excited about, but you have to feel like Kane and LeDuc come in with a lot of momentum from nationals. So much momentum and excitement, and you know, they have a lot of experience this season with only a 10-day turnaround from the U.S. Championships. They've done that all season. They've done a lot of back-to-back internationals, so they're very experienced as far as that's concerned and trained. But you also have 2 other teams that could easily take that spot from them, and I think it's going to be really up to them what they do. They have the hardest technical program. They have the throw triple lutz, side-by-side triple loops, and I think they could sneak away with a silver medal, especially in the short program if they skate clean. Yeah, it's interesting to see for the Americans what will happen here today in the pairs short program. I've got my glasses on. Let's go ahead and check out what we've got on today for the pairs. It starts at 11:45 right inside the Honda Center, and then guess what? We're back here in Ice Desk twice in a row. We've got the rhythm dance this afternoon, and then later tonight. If you don't have your tickets, if you're not scheduled yet on your couch to watch it at home, make sure you join us for the ladies free skate. We've got a special ice desk before the final group as well. But for those of you inside the Honda Center, Rusty Kath, I'm throwing it back to you, buddy. Have a good day. Okay, for those of you hanging out with us on Facebook and YouTube, another reminder, don't be afraid of that comment button. Brooke is ready with all of her answers for pairs. We were just talking about Kane and LeDuc. Let's stay there, actually, and just the fact that she came off of that concussion, we talked a lot about it in Detroit, but wow, for them to come through nationals the way that they did, they have that expectation now to compete at the international level. Yeah, and I think for them, they have kind of had a magical season where everything, despite that injury, everything's really worked out for them. They had a really strong, solid plan at the beginning of the season.
and they've just followed through on it. And I think they're just going to continue that wave here. I expect nothing less from them. I don't think that hangover from nationals after winning is going to be a problem for them.
Yeah, no, it'll be very interesting to see what turns out for them. Let's go ahead and look at the field, including Kane and Leduc here in Anaheim. A lot to watch for. Obviously, we've got a great field here at International versus the Americans, the Canadians. For the American teams, we talk about this and the difference for them to come off of Nationals. But Shanae, you've got 3 American teams here that all have a shot. Obviously, Kane and Leduc are the reigning national champions, but all 3 of these teams have a great shot
right,
this
and
weekend.
the 3 of them at Nationals kind of flip-flopped around a little bit, and they're all 3 very strong teams. So I think that it really will be up to Kane and Leduc to really try to establish themselves here as the #1 team. But it's not going to be an easy one because the other 2 teams are right up behind them, and it's going to be an interesting competition between those 3.
Well, yeah, and the U.S. only has 1 spot at Worlds, and that's for Kane and Leduc. So they really want to establish themselves here to be able to make an impact at Worlds so that they can get another spot back for the U.S. So they're really carrying that on their shoulders to help their teammates out next season.
Right. So tell me a little bit. We're actually going to go ahead inside the venue. I know you want to hang out with us. Oh, okay. We're still hanging out. Great. So we want to talk more about the American teams. Denny Frazier, former U.S. champions, and then Kane and O'Shea, they were actually in first place after that short program at Nationals. So these are 2 teams that are really tough for Kane and Leduc to go up against. And Brooke, you would think they're all going after what? That silver medal, maybe a bronze here. They're really pushing against these international teams.
Well, yeah, they're really competing against each other as well as the international teams. They're all very close. 2 of them have Grand Prix medals this season. Kane and O'Shea won this event last year, so they're experienced in that regard. And I think that, for Kane and Leduc, they have a long road ahead still with Worlds. And Denny and Frazier and Kane and O'Shea, this is the final competition for them. So they just want to end their season feeling good, feeling like they set themselves up well for next season, and just have a great competition.
And the difference, Shanae, for 2 teams that are ending their season, whereas Kane and Leduc are going to Worlds, as Brooke's saying, that's a whole different set of pressure.
It is. It's a bit of a different feel because Kane and Leduc are using this competition to move through on the way to World Championships, which is the ultimate goal at the end of the season. And the other 2 teams, for them, this is the biggest competition of the season for them. So it is a slightly different motivation going into it. So it will be interesting to see how that pans out.
Okay, so Rusty Kath, I know you want to hang out with us all day here on Ice Desk. We're having a good time. We're outside section 208, and for all of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, the show must go on. But for now, inside Honda Center, it's back to you guys. Just wanting to hang out with us and chill out?
Like how we got a back shot there.
Okay, very cool. I mean, listen, I feel like we're a fun group to hang out with, right?
I'm
Just all day
fun.
long?
Yeah, definitely.
No, I'm just kidding. You guys are both fun.
And both of you, by the way, I feel we didn't plan this, but the outfits look pretty good today, right?
I think we're rocking it. Yeah.
Are you happy, Annie Mae?
It's a pretty good difference between the 3 of us.
Okay, so we did a lot of talking there about the American teams. If we're ready for it, we actually got the chance to catch up with Kane and Leduc. They're coming off as national title winners. They're confident. She went ahead and was able to rehab after that concussion in December. Rusty Kath chatted with Kane and Leduc.
All right, it's an interesting competition to get up for from whatever you've come off with from your national championships. For this American team, things are going very well. Do you feel a lot of momentum coming into 4 continents?
Absolutely. We're super excited to be here, especially as the U.S. champions. That's like something we've dreamed about for so long. So to have that title going into that, we feel great, but we are hungry for a medal here. We're going to work as hard as we can to get on the podium.
And it's a little bit different thing too, where you're used to competing against, the other Americans, and now you're back to competing against the international field. Any different mindset going in, or is it just another day at the office?
Definitely not. I mean, our goals remain the same, and that's just to put out 2 good performances, especially where we're coming from this season. We're happy that we have the championship title, but we just want to move forward and do the best we can for the U.S. and for ourselves.
It was a tumultuous last couple of months for you two, and then to come in and win a title at the U.S. Championships. Is there a big breath now and just kind of be able to relax when you come into this competition, or is it still kind of those typical nerves and butterflies that come in?
It's definitely still a competition, so we still feel the pressure, but we definitely feel redeemed in a way.
Yeah.
There's definitely like a weight lifted off of us after everything that we've been through and the comeback that we've had. So
Can't top that. Best of luck, guys. Can't wait to see you skate again.
Thank you.
I mean, there's that classic line, right? We just want to skate 2 clean programs, but you can feel that confidence coming off of Detroit here in Anaheim.
Absolutely. I remember after winning at the national championships and coming into 4 continents just on such a high, nothing could get you down. And we skated 2 great programs, and I think we'll probably expect the same from them. He sometimes gets a little bit nervous in short.
Okay.
So I think if anything, that's what we could look for, but I really do expect a lot from them.
So questions coming through on Facebook.
Oh,
yes,
good.
you can watch
Yay.
the skating today. NBC Sports, NBCSN has the skating all day long. Check your local listings. Also, if you don't have the NBC Sports Gold Figure Skating Pass, you need it. And our biggest fan, Michael Weiss, is saying hello to all of us. And
I thought it was
Michael,
a real fan.
We're missing.
He missed
we're
you.
I got
missing
so
him.
excited.
He says,
Where is he?
love you guys. I think he's just hanging out. He's going to be
for
with
him.
us later today.
For the
which is
dance,
good.
I assume.
He is our dance expert, right?
Yeah, I'm out the window for that one.
Let's keep talking about the international teams. Obviously, we talk a lot about the Americans, but Sui and Han, what's the challenge, Shanae, for them not having skated much this season, but gosh, they're so experienced as world champs, as defending champions here?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think you said it right. They're experienced. They're the most experienced one in this field. So I'm assuming they're not going to be coming in their 100% massive best, but I'm also assuming we're not going to see anything bad from them. I think that it's going to be good. It might not be their best, but I think it still will be good enough to come out top of this field.
And remember, they're not only reigning silver medalists at the Olympics last season, but that was probably the strongest quad of pairs ever. And they were at the top of it. So even when they're not at their best, they're one of the best teams of all time.
What do they do? I mean, they're such a joy to watch, and I think most of you watching right now will know Sui and Han and the way that they skate, but what do they do so well that sets them apart from the rest of the field?
They just have this, I hate to use this, but this star quality about them. They are absolutely magical, dynamic. You cannot not watch them, especially her. She is such a superstar. Some of the Chinese girls have tended to just be very technically strong and beautiful, but she is like just a diva, and in the best way possible. And I cannot say enough good things about them. Their throws are huge, tons of speed, really difficult choreography. He's not the tallest pair guy,
no,
but you would never know it when you watch them. They
Yeah.
have an amazing twist. They're capable of a quad. I mean, can I just go on and on?
I was just going to tag on to
Shanae
that
wants to add to it,
when
too.
saying that you were totally right when you said that sometimes the Chinese teams have been these technical machines who just lack that little bit of magic somehow, and they have both the technical and the magic. You're so right. It's like when you watch them, you're really drawn into their performance, and that's new for a Chinese team to have. They've always been good, but this team just brings that it factor as well.
Absolutely.
And they'll be running in now. You know, they've got to be favorites for this next Olympic cycle if they can stay injury free. Between them and the French, I guess.
Yeah, and
as
I
well,
think that's something they probably didn't expect, is for the French team to now have such a hot season. They're coming off of a win at Europeans. They beat Trasova and Morozov there,
Yep.
which is a big deal. And I think now it's going to be, last season, like I said, was the strongest in pairs we've ever seen. And now you had a lot of retirements, a lot of injuries this season. So the field was kind of cleared, and that's where Michael and Kirsten really wanted to try to make an impact, and maybe
Well,
they
yeah,
didn't.
that's actually
but
what I wanted. I mean, we talked a
Yeah.
little bit about them and the factor for for More Towers and Marinaro coming in now as that #1 Canadian team. There's another program that's been so strong, Canadian pairs.
Yeah, and right now maybe they're not at the top, the Canadian teams. And I was expecting for Kirsten and Mike to kind of make a push through to be maybe one of the top 6 teams in the world. And so far this season, they've been a little bit lackluster. They haven't had they have a lot of experience, but they haven't had what makes them stand out, hasn't been as strong this year. Their speed, their flow, their technique. And I think that for them here, it's really important that they maybe establish themselves again.
We were talking, Shanae, before the show about Denny Fraser skating first. Well, it's actually More Towers and Marinaro who skate last today, and the pressure for them, they want to be up in that last group, but then that whole pressure for the favorites to skate before them.
It's such a funny thing where you skate in a competition, and we were talking about this just before. Skating first is sometimes almost a little easier from a performance point of view because there's no expectations, there's no pressure, the first one out there, but it's a little bit harder to get the highest score because of course, the judges haven't seen everyone yet. Skating last, I hated because I had to wait till the end of the warm-up. The pressure was on. Everyone else has skated. It's a difficult place to skate as well. So yeah. Okay,
is anyone aside from Sui and Han on top of the podium after this short program?
I don't. As long as if they have to water things down because of an injury, yes, perhaps. But if they do everything the way we expect them to, I don't think there's a chance.
Shanae, you agree?
Ooh, I mean, I think I have to agree. I mean, I think if Kane and Legit can pull off a clean skate, I'm excited to see if they can make a push for it. But I don't know if it's possible or not, but I like them a lot. We're in the US.
Their short program is
great, so maybe they'll have a shot.
Yeah, okay, there we go. There's our hot takes from the pair short program. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, Shanae.
Thank you, Nick.
And this is a live look inside the Honda Center. We're ready for the pair short program. Again, you can watch it on the NBC Sports Gold, but you also can watch it on NBCSN. Check your local listings and then come right back here after the pair short program. We will be here, the 3 of us, and maybe a few others will be right here after the pair short. You guys, thanks for hanging out with us on the Bridgestone Ice Desk. For now, it's the pair short. Enjoy.